What is going on, everyone? Welcome to Detailed Projects. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the one and only Sunjo SPX3001. Now, before we get into the video, I'd like to thank everyone for supporting the channel. We just reached well over 200 subscribers, and if this is your first time stopping by, please consider subscribing. Alright, so let's dive right in. Alright, and starting with the price, the Sunjo can be picked up either at Amazon or Home Depot. The price is $250 Canadian, and I'll throw the links below for you guys to check it out. Now, I've owned this pressure washer for well over 3 years. It has served me well overall, and at the time that I bought it, it cost me just under $200 Canadian from Amazon. So look out for any deals. Now, the Sunjo claims to be a 2030 PSI pressure washer with a 1.76 GPM flow. And I'll tell you firsthand that these numbers are way overrated. I believe it's maybe in the 1600 PSI range. Alright, the Sunjo also comes with a 4.5 amp 1800 watt motor. And so now let's dive right into the setup process and also go over some features that the pressure washer is packed with. Alright, so the setup is straightforward. I would highly suggest to get a quick disconnect from your garden hose to the pressure washer, because I do find it is difficult to twist on and twist off. Now, you want to turn on your tap and let the water flow before you turn on the motor, just so you're not running your pump dry. Alright, and the switch below is not to adjust the pressure for the pressure washer. It's just to adjust the volume for the soap dispenser located in the rear. And I tend to utilize this in a smart way when I do use the pressure washer. And I just fill it up with water, and then I add ONR, and I either use it as a pre-rinse for the vehicle with the soap nozzle, or I tend to go over the vehicle after I have washed it and use it as a drying aid. It's a really smart and effective way to utilize this extra accessory. Now, moving on, so far the hose reel handle has failed me, and I had to zip tie it because the screws didn't hold it, but that was an easy fix. However, I would like to see it hold up. Now, the Sunjo comes with a pretty good, decent quality 20-foot hose, but I don't find it long enough. So what I did is I bought a Sunjo 25-foot heavy-duty extension hose, and I connected the two, and I now have a total of 45 feet, which is a lot better because I don't have to move the pressure washer around. Also worth noting that the M22s on the Sunjos are 15 millimeter in diameter and not 14 that most universal pressure washers are. So if you're looking to upgrade your hose or your gun, you would have to also purchase a adapter for it, which are pretty inexpensive, and they're very sourceable at this times. So that's one other thing to consider. Now, moving on, the Sunjo comes with a pretty decent 36 inch wand, extended wand. I did try some other ones, aftermarket ones, but they failed really quick, so I just stuck with the original. But you always have the option of upgrading. Alright, and moving on, we see the Sunjo also comes with 5 nozzle tips. It comes with a soap, a 0 degree, 15 degree, a 25, and a 40. Now, my preferred nozzle is the 40, and sometimes in winter times when the vehicle gets a little bit more hammered, I like to use the 25 under the wells of the vehicle and the undercarriage. Now the Sanjo is start and stop on demand. However, one thing that really often happens is as you hear there's a lot of air all the time into the hose, and it tends to really drop pressure quite a lot. But then as soon as it purges, it's good to go. Alright, and now we're going to go over the nozzle tips, and starting off with the 40-degree angle. This provides the widest fan and is also the most gentle for when you wash your vehicle. Moving on to the green, it is my second preferred when I want to go on my undercarriage and wheel wells, and if my vehicle is heavily soiled over the winter. It gives a little bit more bite. The fan is not as wide as the 40-degree. But it provides a little bit more pressure, which helps knock off all that dirt. Alright, and moving on, we have the 15-degree yellow nozzle tip, and this is quite more aggressive than the green one. I never really use this on my vehicles, and if you are going to, I highly suggest you keep it from a distance, because you could potentially damage your paint surface or any other surface on your vehicle. So that'll be my recommendation. And next we have the red 0-degree nozzle tip, and that is not recommended to use on vehicles. That is more for like a heavy duty cleaning around your household, like your floors, your garage floors, or your driveway. But in my experience, it doesn't really do anything. You're better off buying a 4000 PSI gas pressure washer if you want to do heavy household work. And last is the soap nozzle, which has no pressure at all. It's like a garden hose, and it just has a fan of spray, and that's when I use the ONR, and I go over it either as a pre-rinse or as a final rinse, and use it as a drying aid. Alright, so now that we covered most of the Sanjo features, let's go over some accessories and talk about what made me want to purchase a pressure washer to utilize for my detailing. And starting off, I was looking for an electric pressure washer because you don't need more than 1200 PSI to wash a car. That's the ideal pressure. And also I like to use a pressure washer all year round, meaning that gas pressure washer first would have too much pressure, and also it would have produced a lot of fumes indoors, so I wouldn't be able to use it. So the electric pressure washer came in really handy, and the fact that it was an entry-level pressure washer made it affordable to get into that game. Now a biggest thing for me was a foam cannon that I wanted to invest in, and even though I have a very inexpensive Amazon basic brand with a 1.1 millimeter orifice, I don't get the greatest foam. But to me, what matters is that I get a good lubrication onto the vehicle. Now, and also I have hard water. If you live somewhere that you have soft water and you can invest in a better foam cannon, you get a lot better results and a better like shaving cream like foam on your vehicle. So that was the first and foremost reason I wanted to invest in a pressure washer. Second off, I like a pressure washer for winter as it gets very dirty up here in Canada, and the vehicles, a garden hose wouldn't really cut it. You do need that pressure to get, especially under the undercarriage and around your wheel areas and the lower panels of the vehicle. So for me, that was the biggest, one of the biggest reasons why. At the time, the Sanjo was the only one that I looked at based on the price. It was an attractive $199 Canadian, and I liked how organized everything looked on the pressure washer, meaning that it had a reel, it had all the nozzles in place, so it did look compact. However, if I was to go back, I would like to see something more compact, something like a Karcher Cube or something like an Active or a Simonize from Canadian Tire, which are the same brand. So I would buy something more compact the next time around. However, that doesn't mean that the Sunjo does not perform well. For an entry level pressure washer, I think it is a very reasonable pressure washer, and so far I've been really happy with it. Now, if you're newer to detailing or you're just currently using a garden hose and you wanted to upgrade to a pressure washer, I would highly recommend the Sunjo as an entry pressure washer. You can't go wrong, even though it is not repairable, just like most entry electric pressure washers. As soon as the pumps die, they're gone. However, they do tend to last about 4 to 5 years on average, depending how you run them. Just make sure you don't run the pumps dry. Make sure you run the water first, like I suggested earlier. And so I highly recommend it. I think a pressure washer, especially something like this, will be very beneficial. Would you use it all the time? No, you wouldn't. I don't use it most of the time. However, it does make my life easier when I do have it around. And so you see that you find that very useful yourself as well. It's a nice tool to have, especially for detailing. Other areas where I really appreciate the pressure washer is when I'm washing down dirty door jambs, my rubber floor mats, even carpet floor mats, as well as when I'm cleaning the engine bay. Pressure washer comes in really, really handy. When I'm done with a pressure washer, it's really easy to put away. I simply shut the motor down, I drain all the excess water from the hose, and I disconnect the garden hose and I just tuck it away. It tucks away really, really nice into my cabinets. And also even though I did have an extension hose attached to the pressure washer, it all fits over the reel with a little bit of struggle, of course, but I end up compacting everything on the reel, which is really nice. Alright, and concluding this video, based on my experience with the Sunjo, I do highly recommend it. I think it's a great entry pressure washer for detailing. It does a great job. I would have liked to see something more compact, and if that's something you're looking for, then maybe there's other alternatives out there. But for me, having it for well over 3 years, it served me well, and it is a great upgrade over a garden hose. It's not a necessity, but it is a great tool, and you would appreciate having it for your detailing. So having said that, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this helped you out, and as always, we'll catch you on the next one.